Tonight, when it gets dark, if these three things are left outside your home, you may be quietly opening a door to money slipping away and you don't even realize it. And this is how it starts. Your paycheck doesn't stretch, random expenses pop up, the house feels heavy, and you feel tired in a way you can't explain. And pay attention, one of these three things almost everyone leaves out. And the third is the most dangerous because it messes with your path. Today, I'm going to show you what they are, why they get so risky at night, and how to reverse it today, even if you've done this for years. And stay until the end, because I'm going to teach you a salt seal at the front door, a simple way to close the gaps and protect your home. Comment right now. My home is protected. Let's get straight to it. The first thing is pause your shoes or flip-flops. And in a minute, I'll show you the second looks harmless, but it's the one that soaks up the most night energy. Now listen, because this is simple, but it's powerful. The first thing you should never leave outside at night is your shoes. And yes, your slides, sandals, or flip-flops too. And I know what a lot of people think, but it's just a pair of shoes. What's the big deal? The big deal is a shoe isn't just an object. It carries your entire day. It walks on sidewalks, stores, parking lots. It picks up other people's spaces, stress, rush, irritation, everything you move through, and it holds on to it. And when you leave those shoes outside at night, you're leaving your energy exposed at the exact time your home is more vulnerable. When everything gets quiet, still, and open, it's like you're leaving a little touch point of yourself outside and making it easier for what you can't see to brush up against your path. And I'm going to say it plainly the way you like it. Shoes represent your path to money, your path to health, your path to peace, your path to opportunities. And when that path starts getting blocked, you feel it in real life. Money comes in and goes right back out. Unexpected bills show up. Everything takes more effort. You're more tired. Things get delayed, and it feels like nothing flows. Now think with me, how many times have you woken up feeling I'm doing everything right? So why does something keep pulling me back? Most people have no idea, but leaving shoes outside at night can be one of those silent doors. And breathe. If you've done this your whole life, it doesn't mean you're doomed. It just means that starting today, you're going to do it the right way and close the gap. I'm going to teach you a quick micro ritual you can do tonight that clears what needs clearing and protects your path. You'll need coarse salt. If you have sea salt, great. If not, regular coarse salt works. Here's what you do. Take your shoes or flip-flops and put a tiny pinch of salt inside each one. Not on top, inside where your foot touches, where your energy meets it. As you do it, say slowly, firmly, like you're signing a decision. I break every block. I clear every heaviness. My path is open. My home is protected. That's it. Simple, direct. Then leave the salt there overnight, and tomorrow morning when you wake up, remove the salt and throw it away outside your home. If you can toss it in an outside trash bin, the idea is what got pulled in, what got absorbed, doesn't stay inside your space. And starting today, you make one small rule that's non-negotiable. Before it gets dark, everything comes in. Shoes come in, flip-flops come in, period. You don't need to be scared, you need control. Because when the home is in order, the energy lines up. And when the energy lines up, life starts to unstick. Now, I want you to do a quick check-in just so I know you're still with me. That was mistake 1 of 3. Tell yourself honestly, were you doing that or not? And listen, if you heard that and thought, oh my God, I do that all the time, then I need you to do one thing. Don't blame yourself. Most women learn to run a home by routine, not by energy. You didn't do it to invite anything in. You did it because it became a habit, and that's why I'm here to guide you. If this kind of guidance helps you, then subscribe, because we don't talk pretty just to make you feel something. We talk so you can do it and see a real difference in your home, your peace, your life. Now, pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. The second thing is even more common than shoes. A lot of women do this without noticing, thinking it's normal, and then later, the house feels heavy, the body feels drained, and they can't explain why. And the third is the most dangerous, because it doesn't just mess with the house, it messes with the way you're walking through life. So stay with me, because right now I'm going to explain quickly why nighttime changes the energy, and then we'll go straight to mistake 2 of 3. Now, before I reveal mistake 2, I need to explain one thing in a really simple way. No mystery, no complicated words. Because once you understand this, you stop thinking it's just silly. Night isn't only the absence of sunlight. Night changes the rhythm of a home. During the day, your home breathes with you. People coming and going, noise, movement, light, conversation. Even if you're alone, daytime has an active energy. But when it gets dark, everything gets quieter, and anything that's quiet becomes easier to absorb. That's why grandmas always used to say things like, before it gets dark, bring everything in. And they weren't only talking about dew or theft or dirt. They said it because they felt through real life that the house is more open at night. And here's an important detail. Anything that's yours, anything you wear on your body, anything that has your touch, your sweat, your scent, your routine, carries your personal imprint. So when you leave something like that outside at night, it's like you're leaving a small piece of yourself out there, uncovered, unprotected. You don't have to believe in witchy stuff to understand this. Just notice how the energy shifts when night falls. Some homes feel lighter at night, some homes feel heavier, and a lot of the time the difference is small habits repeated every single day. And I want you to hold on to this sentence because it's the key to this entire video. Anything left outside at night becomes more vulnerable. And when it's vulnerable, it can turn into an entry point for things you don't want. Exhaustion, arguments, delays, surprise, expenses, that feeling that life gets stuck. So today we're closing those doors one by one. And now comes mistake 2 of 3. And I'm warning you, this is the mistake that happens the most in homes because it looks normal. But once you understand it, you'll never do it the same way again. Let me tell you a quick story because when you hear a real story, it lands differently. I'm going to call this woman Maria. Maria was 58. She was like so many women, hardworking, responsible, the kind who takes care of everyone and almost never puts herself first. She lived in a modest place and had a very steady routine, but lately her life started to unravel in a way that felt strange. First, money started disappearing, not because she was living large, not at all. It was random bills, repairs, prescriptions, one thing here, another thing there. And before she knew it, the month was over and she felt like she'd run a marathon. Then came the exhaustion, the heavy kind. She'd wake up and it already felt like she'd been hauling bags of concrete. And worse, something felt off in the house. Some days she'd walk in and feel a weight in her chest, irritation for no reason. Small disagreements would turn into full-blown arguments, and she kept thinking, what's happening to me? What's happening in here? She went to the doctor, got tests, heard everything looks normal, but inside she knew it didn't feel normal. Until one day, an older neighbor, one of those women who doesn't say much, but when she speaks, you listen, said a sentence that kept echoing in Maria's head. Maria, you've been leaving too much of your stuff exposed when night falls. Maria gave that awkward little laugh and said, come on, it's just everyday stuff. It's nothing. And the neighbor answered, calm as anything. It's exactly the just that opens the door. What feels common is what grabs you the most. That day, Maria decided to listen. Not because she was scared, because she was tired of feeling stuck. She started paying attention to her habits one by one, and she realized something. There was one thing she did almost every day thinking it was normal, and it was connected to her body, her skin, her energy, in a way she'd never considered. And when she changed that habit, it was like the house could breathe again. She said it herself. I can't explain it, but I felt peace. I slept better. I stopped waking up startled, and things started falling back into place. Now, coincidence maybe? Or maybe Maria simply closed a door that had been left open for way too long. And I'm going to show you right now exactly what mistake 2 of 3 was for her. And I'm warning you, a lot of women do this without realizing it, especially the ones who run the home. Do laundry, hang things up, keep everything together. So pay attention because this second mistake looks innocent, but it's one of the biggest drains on a home. All right, mistake 2 of 3. The second thing you should never leave outside at night is laundry hanging out to dry, especially damp clothes, towels, dish rags, sheets, and especially underwear and pajamas. I know so many women are going to say, but I've always done that. And that's exactly why it hits so hard, because it's common. It looks normal. It becomes routine. But here's a simple truth. Your clothes are your second skin. They touch your body. They absorb sweat, scent, emotion, the energy of your day. And when they sit outside overnight, they're not just drying, they're soaking up what? Heavy energy, stagnant energy, that quiet nighttime energy that slips into anything left open. And when you put those clothes on the next day, it's like you're putting back on your body whatever the night left sitting in that fabric. And then you start to feel a tiredness that doesn't match what you did, irritation for no reason, tightness in your chest, sleep that doesn't actually rest you. And the worst part, it doesn't affect just you. Because if you hang up your husband's clothes, your child's clothes, your grandbaby's clothes, you're putting their energy into the same rule. And a home full of people who feel tired, snappy, heavy, and don't know why becomes a home that argues, a home that gets stuck, a home where money doesn't flow. Now look how smart and cruel this is at the same time. The mistake is small, but the effect is big because the body feels it before the mind can explain it. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Don't argue with what you feel. If you feel the house getting heavier, the air shifting, peace disappearing, money slipping away, it's not you being dramatic, it's a signal. And there's one more detail that makes this even more serious. When you leave clothes outside at night, you're leaving something deeply personal exposed. Your imprint, your trace, your "this belongs to me." And I'm not telling you to be afraid to live. I'm telling you to protect yourself. Most people don't realize this, but household habits are like doors, and some doors you open without meaning to. So from now on, the rule is simple and non-negotiable. Before it gets dark, laundry comes inside. If it's not dry, hang it inside. In the bathroom, the laundry room, the bedroom, wherever you can, but it doesn't stay outside. And if you're thinking, but there's a breeze out here, it dries better, I get it. But let me ask you a straight question. What costs more, drying faster or getting back the peace you've been losing? Now, if you've been doing this, and I know a lot of women have, I'm going to show you how to clear it out in a practical way. And you've got two options, the simple option and the stronger option. Option 1, simple cleanse. Grab coarse salt. If you've got sea salt, great. If not, more salt works. Once the clothes are dry, sprinkle a tiny bit of salt over them, lightly like you're blessing the fabric. Let it sit for a moment. Then shake it off and wash as usual. While you do it, say firmly, I cleanse what isn't mine. I return what's heavy. I wear peace. That's it. Simple, direct. Option 2, strong cleanse. This is the one I recommend if the house feels really heavy, if you've been having nightmares, if money feels stuck, if your energy feels drained, fill a bucket or a basin with water. If you want to do it in the washing machine, you can add 1-2 cup of coarse salt. If it's a big load, add a little more. Put the clothes in and let them soak for 30 minutes. And while they're soaking, say, no need to shout, you just need to mean it. I cleanse my clothes, I cleanse my body, I cleanse my life. All heavy energy dissolves and goes away, then wash as normal. And that's it, you just close the door. Now listen to this because this detail changes everything. After you do this cleanse, you need to build one protective habit that takes less than 2 minutes. It's a quick walk through before bed. You look around and ask, any shoes outside? Any laundry still out? Anything left exposed? That walk through is like closing the windows before a storm. And I know it can feel small, but small things repeated every night change the fate of a home. Now pause for a second and check the score with me. That was mistake 2 of 3. How many have you recognized so far? If you're already at 2, don't panic. The opposite. You just gained awareness. And awareness is protection. And now the third one is coming. And I'll warn you up front because I don't like to sugarcoat it. Mistake 3 of 3 is the most dangerous because it touches something most people forget, but it governs your whole life, your path, your luck, your prosperity. And when you really understand this, you'll never treat this object like it's nothing again. But before I reveal mistake 3, I need to tell you one quick detail. Because this is the reason a lot of people try to protect their home and still feel stuck, and that detail might be happening in your house right now. Here it is, doing it all on autopilot. People put down the salt, wash the clothes, move the item inside, but they do it rushed, annoyed, thinking about bills, thinking about problems, thinking about fear. So your hands do one thing and your mind declares the opposite. Because home protection isn't just what you do with your hands, it's what you confirm with your intention. So whenever you do any of these steps, sprinkling the salt, bringing the clothes in, bringing the shoes in, don't do it like you're checking off chores. Do it like you're closing a door. And there's one short sentence that fixes that instantly. You can say it every time under your breath. Only good comes in, only good stays. That's it. It pulls you out of autopilot, puts you back in presence, and your home understands the command. And now I'm going to reveal mistake 3 of 3. And listen closely because this is the mistake that quietly knocks the luck out of a home without making a sound. All right, mistake 3 of 3. And I'm going to ask you not to laugh, okay? Because anyone who learned this from a grandma, a mom, or just life knows it's not a joke. The third thing you should never leave outside your home at night is your broom. Yes, the broom. and I know it can sound silly if you've never stopped to think about it. But a broom is not just another object in a house, it's an old symbol. A broom is what sweeps and clears throat. What we sweep isn't just dirt off the floor. We sweep stress. We sweep discouragement. We sweep the leftovers of an argument. We sweep the heavy energy from visitors. We sweep what lingers in the air. That's why in so many traditions, and in the kind of wisdom grandmothers passed down, the broom is seen as a guardian of cleansing, not just of the home, but of the whole atmosphere. Now think with me. If the broom is what sweeps things away, what happens when you leave it outside at night? You leave the guardian outside and the inside becomes more exposed. And there's more. When a broom stays outside overnight, leaned against a wall, sitting by the porch, tossed near the back door, it becomes like a hook, a point that holds and pulls in heavy energy. Then the next day you grab that broom, bring it back inside and start sweeping. Without realizing it, you can end up spreading again what clung to it. And that's why so many women feel like they clean and clean and clean and the house still doesn't feel light. It's like the house never truly rests. Now I'm going to mention one of the strongest symbols people associate with this. You've heard witch and broom before. And I'm not going into fantasy, I'm staying with what matters. The broom is tied to crossings, to pathways, to movement. And remember what I told you at the beginning. Choose your path. And the broom is part of that too. Because the broom doesn't just clean, it directs, it pushes out, it pulls in, it stirs the luck of a home. And that explains something so many women notice, but almost never say out loud. Some days you sweep and the house feels like it lets out a breath. And some days you sweep and it feels like it gets worse. Because it's not just the act of sweeping, it's the condition of the object and the timing. That's why grandmas used to say, don't sweep at night, don't leave the broom tossed around. A broom deserves respect. And when we say respect, we're not talking about worshipping an object. We're talking about giving it a proper place, not treating it like trash. Now, if you've ever left the broom outside, I'm going to show you how to cleanse it and protect it the right way. And it's simple. It's not expensive, but you have to do it with presence. First, pick a time of day when there is light, because light in a home always symbolizes clarity, cleansing, and order. Take the broom and place it for a moment somewhere bright, near a window, in a sunlit corner, even under a porch light if that's all you have. The point is light. Then you'll do a very simple cleanse. Take a little coarse salt and gently rub it into the bristles lightly, like you're discharging what it picked up. While you do it, say firmly, I cleanse this home, I cleanse this path, only good stays here. Now, an important detail. After that, tap the broom lightly a few times to knock off the extra salt. That's it. It already feels lighter, but I want to give you one more layer of protection because you've stayed with me this far, and I respect that. If you can do this step too. Fill a glass with water and add a pinch of salt.